this phone was dropped from the moon by the customer. At least that's what I believe, right? Because I can't imagine the height that a phone will fall from and get as much damage as this. We even have some parts falling off the PCB just like that, and very smooth. You can see how the parts are being peeled off. You can see just a few are left. But the customer really needs his data inside this phone, and he said that, okay, I have to try all possible means for this phone to power up so that he can get his data back. You can see a lot of components have pull up of the PCB, right? So let's try to power this phone by connecting it to our DC power supply. Check the DC power supply reading, then see how the phone is triggering. So that's how the phone is triggering with all these components out. The current state of the phone before we start working on the PCB. Actually, I received the phone from another phone technician as well, but he did not do anything on this PCB. You can see the IC that came out from this area. This is one of the reasons why I believe this phone fell from the moon, bro. At least the height, I believe that's the height that the phone fell from. I'm joking. So we have this part here. You know why I'm just crossing solder right there, which is like a cable, because from the schematic diagram, a resistor, an inductor was the original component that came out from that area. And here we also have some inductors from this area that we have to put them back. Actually, when I removed the phone, removed the shield, I just had these components lying around, so I just have to pick them and put them back. But for some reasons, the one that I just jump out with a solder, I do not see that one, but it's not a problem to cross that cable. It was just a small inductor right there. So I just mount those inductors, which are important, then try to trigger. You see where the phone is triggering right now. It triggers up to 112. So I just try to observe the PCB to see if there is anything wrong. Then yeah, everything points to the eMMC, right? And that's why we are working on the eMMC. That's why we are here. So we go ahead, then we just put our clean forward paste, then we lift up the eMMC just like that, and very smooth. We have some parts that are peeled off right there, but don't worry, those are NC pins. They're just there to hold the eMMC. That's it. So and I'm surprised. The reason why I was removing this IC was because first, the IC, the reading that we are getting is pointing to this IC, and second, I was expecting to see a lot of parts that are being peeled off here because of the hard fall from the moon, right? But everything is okay. Those pins are okay. Let's try to trigger the phone again to see if it's going to read lower. Okay, that's normal without the eMMC. So the phone is stuck on import mode around that current consumption, which is okay. I was expecting that. So what love, we just go ahead to do our proper reballing at this point. Okay, well, if you are watching this video and you want to learn troubleshooting from the basics to the advanced level of troubleshooting, you can get my courses right now with a 70% discount. 70% discount, that's huge, bro. That's huge. Send me a message on WhatsApp. That's my number right there. God bless, man. Thank you, Jesus. Okay, we go ahead. We make some beautiful solder balls to the eMMC. Is it eMMC or UFS? Yeah, the storage chip. So this chip is the one that carries the customer's data, pictures, videos, and all that. So we go ahead. We put solder paste. Solder paste. Is it solder paste or soldering paste? Yeah, we just put the paste to make sure that everything is smooth. We just hit it, then we give it a little bit of shaking. We'll get just like that to make everything connected. Let the air circulate inside, then good. We go ahead to trigger the phone again. And okay, wow, that's great, right? That's a great sign. From 112 to 200. Thank you, Jesus. That's impressive. Okay, because of that, I thought that, oh, the CPU, there should be something wrong under the CPU because of the hard fall. Because I can't believe a big chip like this won't have some cracks. You get? So we remove the CPU, and just as I thought, Shamoin, bro, that's totally messed up. Okay, I removed some two components right there. Those are just capacitors. They can work, the phone can work without those capacitors, but let's just replace that one. replace that one. So the other side of that PCB is messed up, totally messed up, bro. We have a lot of work to do here, but that's not a problem. We go ahead and we clean the CPU part just like that. We give a beautiful clean so that we can zoom in carefully and see those NC pins and those pins that are very important, like this particular section right here, bro. We have some pins here that are GNZ, which are important. You should ignore the NC pins, but you see a GNZ line, it's very important. And we even have some lines that are not GNZ, which means that we have a lot of work to do here. So we take our blade smoothly, we start scraping the lines, bro. We do that just like that, very smooth, and it's very impressive because you can see that the lines are clear. But you can see some other parts right there that are not NC. You can see that the lines are going straight to the inner layer of the PCB. Most of those lines are GNT, so I just use my blade to cut the access solder because that was too much. Then I use my repair part, whatever it's called, but you use this to repair some parts. So the other one was too short, I have to replace it with this one. Okay, smooth just like that, and those two parts are great. Now we are not even getting started. We are not yet there, right? So this one was also missing, right? So we just put our solder just like that and very smooth. We get the repair part, we put it right there, we solder it, make sure that it's well aligned with that other one. Too close, we shift that one up a little bit. Okay, well balanced. We get this one as well. Chamoin, that's perfect. We cut them, then we get a beautiful clean. Okay, that's smooth. Seems like we are left with those that are going right into the PCB. I try to drill down the other ones. You can see that they are clearly clean. Right now, we use our UV glue from forward. Then we glue everything. We cure. Start curing. We cure them. We have to drill down that area. That's not a GNZ, so it's very important. Even though I knew where I could jump at that one with a cable, but I decided to do it this way. Believe it, this takes a lot of time. Don't just look down on this wood because it looks this easy because I'm actually fast forwarding this. It's not easy at all. So I go ahead and cut the part, come back right here, add the solder so that the part wouldn't be too low as compared to the others, right? So I add the solder so that it will shift up a little bit. Then I get the part that I cut off. You have to put it on top of the solder. Some people will prefer using cables to do this, but if you have been watching my videos, you will see that this is the best way that I always use to do this type of repair of trucks in most cases, right? Which works great. So we are not done, believe it. We have to cure these again. Cure these as well. So before you cure, you make sure that everything is well aligned, right? Because if you cure and while some are misaligned, then it will be such a mist. So I use my blade again to make sure that I clean every glue, make sure that every part is exposed that it's supposed to be, and I just make sure that it's well labeled. That's why you can see that I'm actually scraping them seriously. Then I do this one as well, but we are not done. We still have one particular part here into the PCB in which we have to repair. Okay, you can see how beautiful that looks, right? So that's the pattern I'm talking about, and it's very clear. From here you can clearly see that it needs to be worked on. So I just make it clear, then we use the same method as we just did a few seconds ago to get solder into that part. We cut the little part right there, repair part, and we put it right there, clean it, and it looks great, right? We have to cure it. After curing it, we grab our blade again, then make sure that it's well leveled with the other ones. Sweet. That's how we do it. We observe the PCB to see if any important part is left, but everything is good. All those other parts are NC pins, not connected pins, if in case you are wondering. Then we grab the CPU. That's a lot of damage, bro. We grab the CPU right here, then we just clean the CPU just like that, and very soon we have some glue right there, but the glue is not that hard. We have some oxidized parts, but that's not a problem. We clean them, we grab our stencil, universal stencil, because the original stencil was not available. Grab our universal stencil, then we apply the solder paste. Just like that, you can see the settings that I'm using, the workstation settings. That's okay, you can use a lower temperature. Fine. So I just do it with a universal stencil and everything came out smoothly. Even though this part was missing, but that's not a problem. I have a specific video on how to do this, more than one video even. So I just prepare that one. We have another one right there. I just prepare it as well. No stress. Okay. So when I did this, take a look at the PCB. At the CPU, the PCB see that everything is okay. The PCB is ready for the CPU to be clear. We go ahead, we mount the CPU just like that, and very smooth. We do this. We just hit the CPU, then don't forget to give it a little shake. Shake like that, just like that, and very smooth. When you do this, you know that, oh, Shamoin, we go ahead to power up the PCB. Take a look at the DC power supply. What? Shamoin, taking a look at the thermal camera, man. After connecting the phone to charge, you see that the eMMC is damaged from that fall, bro. With all this work, that's not fair, bro. God bless, man. God bless, man. Shamoin.